Plaintiff Michael Robinson says the defendant is his stepdaughter, and he has raised her since the age of 1. Michael claims he's worried about the defendant because she's in an abusive relationship, and he's suing her today for breach of contract. Defendant Kathy Castell says she's had a rough relationship with Michael because he was an alcoholic who was physically abusive to her and her mother. Kathy claims when she was 15, Michael assaulted her and broke her nose, and she believes he is the reason that she was in an abusive relationship for 11 years.
Start with you.
Your Honor, she's my daughter I raised since she was 1 and stuff, and she's my little cockroach. We always proud of
What's that?
her.
Does she like that name?
Yeah,
No.
she had it for years.
He used to say I was annoying, like a cockroach. He tried to get
Yeah.
rid of me, and I'd always come back.
Yeah.
And that's how I got the name.
So
How old were you when they started calling you?
I was just a little kid, too.
1.
3 years old,
1
yeah.
or 2.
All right.
So
Go ahead.
It's pretty annoying, yeah.
Yeah, did you ever say, stop calling me
Yeah,
that?
oh, many, many times.
At what age did you start?
When I was a kid, 8, 9 years old,
She
he'd
told
yell
you
through
all
the
to
grocery
stop?
store.
I didn't hear.
You didn't hear her.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
might have, but
Go ahead.
anyways.
You all used to call her cockroach.
Yeah.
What else you want me to know about your relationship?
Oh, she's good. I mean, raised up, tried to raise her right and everything, which we did. And she's got in an abusive relationship with some guy and stuff. And the drinking and stuff. I just hope that she gets out of it. And
All right, let me hear from you.
Well, he is correct. He's raised me since I was a little kid. It's been a kind of rough relationship. He himself has struggled with alcohol. He was abusive to my mother growing up. So
In what way?
he would hit her. When I was 13, he hit me.
He hit you, you say?
Yeah, well, I got pregnant at 13. At 15, he broke my nose. So that's when I decided that it was time for me to move out of the house. At 18, he did it again, and our relationship just got worse from there. And I'm pretty sure that that's pretty much how I ended up with my own personal issues, struggling with alcohol and in an abusive relationship for 11 years. We've gone back and forth. Just most recently, I needed help with my son, and I went to live with them. I ended up being locked out of the room that I was staying in, and basically just told that my sister was more important because that was his biological daughter, and that her room was off limits, and I was to sleep and live on the couch.
So you were sharing a room with her at some point?
Well, she was away at college, so I assumed that the room was fine to sleep in. I guess she came home one day and was upset with me, and I came home to a deadbolt on the bedroom door, and I was basically not given a heads up.
She was upset with you?
I brought a purse.
How do you know she was upset?
She called me.
And said
She wanted
what?
her purse. She said, I want my purse back. I said, I just borrowed it. I'll put it back, I promise. Next thing I know, I'd come back and there was a deadbolt on the door. When I was 13, he hit me.
He hit you, you say?
Yeah, well, I got pregnant at 13. At 15, he broke my nose. So that's when I decided that it was time for me to move out of the house. At 18, he did it again, and our relationship just got worse from there.
Plaintiff Michael Robinson is suing his stepdaughter, who claims Michael physically abused her and even broke her nose when she was 15 years old.
Did you want to address any of the abuse issues, or sounds like twice you physically abused her?
Yep, no, I
She
don't
observed you
recall
abusing her
none.
mom. You don't recall?
He
Okay.
usually
Don't
does.
recall none of that.
Never will.
And
How long
deadbolt on the-
were you an alcoholic?
years ago, yes.
For how long?
Oh,
My whole life. He's just recently,
I quit drinking about 11 years ago.
he still drinks on an occasion.
Okay. Do you think it has damaged your brain cells?
I don't think so.
Okay, because you seem unable to remember
Yeah.
key things.
Yeah.
As in you beating her, breaking her nose, as she
No,
suggests
that's
you
never
did.
happened.
So either
That's
she's
never
lying
happened.
or you have brain damage if
Yeah.
she's telling the truth, because that's a very significant occurrence. Let's go to the $3,000 that you're suing for.
Oh, the
You remember that?
Oh, he'll always
Oh, yeah.
remember the money. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Comes to
Yes.
money, he'll remember that.
Go ahead.
yes, for the legal fees, the DC of when her son got taken away, I had to go and get her attorney attorney for him. And the cars that she wrecked when she was drinking, I had to pay for the tolls and the repairs.
Okay. Do
On
you
that.
agree you owe him for any of these things? You
when it
haven't
comes-
given me much information on it, but let me hear from you.
When it comes to my son and the DCS issue, he was removed because of his personal issue, and they did help me. They did loan me. I didn't think it was a loan. They gave me the money to get the lawyer so that I could have a better standing when we went to court to prove that I had done nothing wrong to have my son removed from me. And I assumed that that was just them as parents helping me. Come down later months.
How much was that?
$1,800.
And did you ever agree to pay them? They never asked for a
I
repayment?
mean, after being berated, I didn't assume that I had to pay them, but over time it was, you owe us this money, you owe us this money. And it was like, I thought that that was just something you were doing for me and my son. And so I just kind of like, whatever, if you say I owe it to you, then it's another thing that I'll just, I don't talk to you anyway, so we'll just add it on. But I don't
So
honestly believe
your
that
answer is yes, you agreed to pay them.
after I thought it was a gift. I thought,
But you changed your mind later and said, I owe you.
well, because he kept on and kept on.
Okay, I got it. A lot of people gonna keep asking you for money and say you owe me money. I wish I could get my kids to believe that. Yeah, I mean, your father got you to believe it. I wish I could get my kids to believe it. Is that all it takes, sir, to get your kids to agree that they owe you? You just keep saying when they say, well, Dad, that car you gave me to start college, that car was a gift. And I just keep saying, no, you owe me. You owe me for the car. Every month, just say, you owe me for the car. And at some point, they'll say, okay, well, add it to the bill. All right, I owe you. Yeah. That's all right. That's what you say occurred.
I mean, that's pretty much how it went, yeah.
All right. And what's the other car? What happened with this car he's suing you for?
I did get an OWI, and when this occurred, I had hit a curb, and he paid to have my car fixed and got it out of impound and whatnot.
towed.
And I did agree to pay that, and I was paying them until the incident with my sister happened, and then I had to find somewhere else to live. And I was going through all these things, and I couldn't afford to pay them.
The $1,800, when was that loan made?
2/4/16.
And when did she agree to have it paid off? Or was there a payment plan? And if so, what was that plan? Or when was the agreement for her to pay it off?
It was supposed to be paid off by now. I figured it would have been. I mean,
You figured?
yeah, but
But there was no agreement on time frame?
no, sir.
Does she work full time?
Yep. She got a full-time job. I raised one of her
Why
kids.
does she live with
so-
you?
For the DCF, for us to take care of her kids, she had to come and live with us.
And was she paying rent?
Nope. And she got the whole basement, and it's got a bedroom down there.
What I'm getting to is a reasonable belief as to how she could pay you and in what time frame. The question is,
Yeah.
when did you expect her to have it all paid off? And
Well-
you say by now. So the question becomes, did she have enough disposable income beyond her current bills at that time to pay you off within that time frame? Could you reasonably expect her to be able to do that?
Her taxes, which she is supposed to pay me off on her taxes.
There you
But
go.
the taxes never come, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, they come.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't make it to you.
Right. Yeah.
That's what. Okay, now we got something.
He's raised me since I was a little kid. It's been a kind of rough relationship. He himself has struggled with alcohol. He was abusive to my mother growing up. So
In what way?
he would hit her. When I was 13, he hit me.
Plaintiff Michael Robinson is suing his stepdaughter, who claims Michael physically abused her and even broke her nose when she was 15 years old.
Now, what about the car? What date was that?
Car was 5/5/16, and the towing too. I had to have it towed too.
All right, and
the
she didn't
shop.
give a deadline for payment of that?
No.
All right, did you mention the February loan?
I asked her about her taxes, and she said she didn't get them or something happened. I don't know
And
what
so
happened.
therefore, can you loan me money for that? My taxes didn't come?
Yeah, matter of fact, I loaned her $200 to get her taxes done and never got it back. So,
Is this true?
I mean, it was always said just to pay me as you can. Pay
Okay.
me when you can. So I just couldn't.
All right. Well, You haven't paid a dime, huh?
I was paying a little here and there.
How much did you pay?
Maybe like $250.
Okay, since February.
Yeah.
Your,
All right.
Your Honor, that was only another DUI that she got.
How many
that she was-
DUIs have you had?
She was paying on. That was nothing to do with
all right,
this.
all right. You've admitted that he convinced you to tell him you owe him. And I don't believe the average reasonable person, when they don't owe a debt, would at some point say, okay, I'll pay you. I think the reasonable person would say, don't ask me for it anymore, sue me. And that wasn't your response, so I believe him. $3,129 is your judgment. You have anything else you wanted to say?
No, sir. No.
Okay, I saw you reading
No,
down
no, I
there,
was just checking the paperwork.
like, what do you need to know? When you're getting the judgment, what do you need to know?
I don't know. I don't know, Your
I'm
Honor.
just saying, if you have some questions about the judgment, I want to be able to answer them.
No, sir. You're whatever you say.
No questions?
Thank you.
There you go. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I want to say I love you, and I hope
I
that
love you too. I
eventually
always
one day
will
we
love.
can repair this relationship.
Yep, I always will love you. You're my little cockroach, and you always will be. So,
Thanks.
I love you so much.
Go looking out.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.